video. So I've just dug out my very, very old, I think this was probably the first or one of the first digital kits that I made. It's very primitive, but it's an Easter sort of springtimey kit. So I thought, I know, I'll make a little Easter journal. So I've printed out some of the pages. So as I say, it's really rough and ready. It's not, you know, spectacular, but do you know what? I love the colours, and I love this. I made these with jelly prints, and I love that they look like Easter eggs. They look like, remind me of mini eggs. So anyway, so I've printed some of the pages out and thought, do you know what, why not? So this is these are the papers that you get. I think I've printed 2 of most of them. I think there were 1 or 2 I didn't, but they're all sort of bright Easterish themed. Can you see? I don't know if you could see those 2. Start that again. And I've printed them double-sided, so you get the sort of collaged pages and then the plain jelly pages on the back. Nice little hen with some sheep and stuff, and then the same again. So I've printed them out twice, so that will be they will be my pages. I'll just do a little single signature one, I think. You get a few pages of tags. I've printed 1 of the pages out. Again, these are just same sort of colour palette, and these are made with jelly prints and sort of grunged up a little bit. And then the kit, to be honest, is decent if just for the ephemera. I've got lots of French old Easter cards that I've scanned, and I think these are, I don't know, they're Dutch as well, but somebody I'm sure will probably correct me, but they're oldie vintagey ones that I managed to get my mitts on. I appreciate that's a birthday one, but I liked the bunny. I thought he was very Easterish. Some more religious ones, and then you can see where I've got some of the images from and amended them slightly, and yeah, so that's that. So I'm going to, as I say, I'm going to cut everything out, use these as pages. My pages, I'm literally going to, because they've printed, it depends on what I print from. My iPad hates my printer and my printer hates my iPad. So when I print from my iPad, they do print out perfectly and it goes right to the edge and I don't have this silly border, but it's like a 1 in 10 chance it'll print. So when I print from my my MacBook, I get this stupid border. Even when I select a print borderless, I still get a bloody border. So what I'm going to do, dead simple, I'm just going to fold my pages and then I'm just going to trim the edges. The pages, pretty similar to most of my kits, I've tried to make them so that when you fold them, you have something of interest on each half, which was quite foresightful for my first kit, I think. I'm quite impressed with my little self. So that one, got that side and that. It's quite a grungy sort of kit while still being bright. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to fold my pages, cut everything out, and then I will be back and I'll show you what we're going to do for a cover. Right, so that's all my pages cut down. They're cut at sort of varying sizes. I haven't measured anything, I've just sort of done it roughly, but I've got 10 pages there that are printed front and back. So I'm going to do 2 signatures, I think. I'm going to do 2 signatures of 5 pages. Because I printed 2 lots out, so if I think I might have that as the front one. Just check that I'm not duplicating. Yeah, and same again. So I think, for the first signature, I think I'm going to have that page and as the front, and then for the second, I think I'll have that one. So those are going to be my 2 signatures. So I'm just going to clip them together, and I'm going to start on the cover. Oh, so I've also cut out all of some of the ephemera, and I'm going to make pockets and such with these. I've cut out a couple of tags. We can make a couple of tags together. I've also dug out, I have a box with old sari silk that I bought, and there's some quite sort of nice sort of matching colours in there. I like that soft pink. So yes, so I've got some sari silk to use for the tags. And then for the cover, I've got this fabric, because it's all quite retro-y, some of the images, particularly sort of the squirrel, the bunny. I've got this sort of retro looking fabric. So I think I'm going to do a fabric soft cover for the journal, because I really like that. And I did dig out these for the front, but I don't think they go. So I might have to, I don't know whether I might back them on something, or these are the flower fairies. I like that one with the green, if you can see that. I like that one, but I think I like that green one. I think I'm gonna have to back it on something though, because it's just going to get lost on the cover. But that's, I think, yeah, I might do something with that. So I'm just going to bob those to one side. Now what I've got here, I've got a piece of cheap one-sided quilting that was just sort of like the wadding. I'm just checking you can see what I'm doing, in the middle, and I've just ironed some adhesive stabilizer to it. So that's what I'm going to have for my cover, and just do sort of a little soft cover. So that will be the outside. We'll put the fabric on this, and then yeah, I might do the inside as well. I do have some other of this sort of retro fabrics. Like I pulled out this green to start with, but I just preferred the orange. So I mean, I might do that for the inside. I don't know. Put that to one side as well. But for now, I'm just sort of glancing over at what fabrics I've got next to me to see if there are any others that might work. So I've got this softer pink. I mean, that would probably work better with that, but I really like this. Or this one. Oh, I think I actually might go with this because of the pinks, because there's a lot of pink throughout. Yeah, I've changed my mind. I'm going to have this softer pink instead, and actually that might help this to sort of stand out a little bit more. As much as I love this retro fabric. I bought all this from a lady on eBay. Can't remember her name. She's either Sophie or Susie. I'll see if I can find her details and I'll link them, because there's some nice retro fabric she's got. So back to this one then. I'm not going to use that one either. So we'll use this fabric now. So I need to mark out the size that I want for my cover. So these are my signatures. First of all, let me get my shears. I'm just going to cut a straight end to this. And I'm going to use these diamonds to help me line up what's straight. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there, but I'm just cutting both the quilted fabric and the stabilizer, and that sort of gives me a straight end. And then I'm going to do the same at the top, and I'm going to use these diamonds just to line everything up, and I'm going to try and get it fairly square if I can. Just aim for these centres. Okay, so that's kind of a square corner, so I can work with that. So if I put this here and go up to the end, I'm going to give myself just a little sort of 1/4 inch around. I want a little bit of space for the spine. So let's say I do a ruler's width for the spine. And then I want the same again on this side. So that's kind of the width I want my book. So if I draw a line, this is all very rough and ready. My line wants to be about there-ish. So let's cut that first. If I can sort of fold that. Yeah, I can see that it kind of gives me, I don't know if you can see the fold I've just done there. Kind of gives me a straightish line. I was hoping it was going to go through one of the diamonds, but never mind. Because I don't want it to be sort of too big. And this is quite a big chunk of fabric, so I could even make like a little mini book, mini journal with that at some point. So I'm going to save that piece. And then for the height, we just get my roller, because it's a lot of bits. I'll take the outer layer of that. Just get rid of some of these bits on here. So that's all fairly straight. And then, like I say, for the height, I want to leave just a little smidge that side and kind of a smidge at the top. I don't want it to be too much. I want it quite a snug cover. So I'm just going to sort of fold that again. So if I cut just along the tops of these diamonds this time, this should, she says, give me quite a straight edge. Yeah, we're there or thereabouts, I think. My alarm knocked me off then. So that's that. Let me zoom you back a smidgen. So this is going to be the inside of the cover, and this is going to be the outside. So all I'm going to do, literally, I think, is just glue this on. Just glue it on. Open it out. See where I want to place it. Do I want it that way up though? I think. And then if I sort of cut some of this fabric down a little bit. Just use my fabric shears. I'm just going to cut this down just so it's a little easier to work with. Same again, just cut on these flowers. Okay, so if I kind of straighten that, pretend that this is all folded in and done neatly. Or do I want to leave it? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if I don't want something else on the front. Give me a moment. I think what I'm going to do is just put it on like a panel. I've got some of this stripy fabric that works quite nicely. And I think I'm going to do that. So that's going to be, I think, my front. I'm just going to machine stitch this to the panel, and then again I think I'll probably machine stitch this to this, and then we'll put an inside cover. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So all I'm going to do literally to start with is I've got my glue. I'm using Faux Tack. Yeah, I know. And I'm just going to slather it on. So this is, it's actually, I say Faux Tack, it's it's like Fabri-Tac. It's the Beacon 3-in-1 glue. And It's taking forever to come out, of course, because I need it to come out quicker. So let me just get one of my unopened bottles with the bigger nozzle, and we'll use this because we need... Oh, it's already open. Time is of the essence, you see. You don't look open, you look like you've got a... Oh, this is because I usually decant it, so I don't usually do this. Hang on. Take that out. Ah, now I'm covered in glue. No, I can't stand the feel of glue on my fingers, but it needs to work quickly. So this should come out, yeah, a bit more freely. And I'm just going to ignore the gluey fingers I have. Now it's quite a thin fabric, so I am going to have to use my gluey finger to smush all of this out. Try not to get it on the table, Donna. I'm going to fold the edges around as well, like we would if we were backing it with paper. So it will stick quite well. So let me just do a bit of smushing. Ugh. So gross. And then avoid touching anything with this finger now. So I wanted it that way. Ta-da. It would have been easier actually to place this on first, wouldn't it? And try and get it kind of even. So I've shoved it on. My fingers annoying me. And I'm just going to use a little roller. In fact, my hand might be more effective. Just to roller it out. I've got a couple of creases, which I should really have ironed this first, but we'll see what it looks like. There we are. Now I've gone on a little bit skew-iff, I think, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It's not an even pattern like a stripe or a square, so it's, you probably won't notice, she says with great confidence as I fold that in. I don't think you're really going to notice. So with that, oh god, the glue, can't stand it. I'm just going to fold, put a little bead of glue here. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I've pressed record, haven't I? Just a little line of glue there, and then just fold this over. I'll stitch around this as well actually when I'm done, just to make sure everything is doubly secure and in place. Let's do this corner, this end. There we are. And then do a little snippy, just to take a little bit of the bulk out of these corners here. That'll work. Come back. You haven't stuck at all, have you? Try and neaten that corner as much as I can. I mean, we didn't really need to leave the whole of this on, to be fair. We should probably have trimmed it, but hindsight is everything. Something I didn't want to do is get glue on my roller. And then we'll use this half. I am going to just take a smidge off this just to make it a bit easier to work with. This is what I really should have done at the other end, but never mind. Save that little strippy. Take a bit of the bulk. Add some more glue. Trim more of that. It's better. Come on, fold in. And that way around will be my cover. So before I put any inner cover on then, that's quite cute. I'm just going to prep, leave that set for 1 second. I'm just going to prep this. So I'm just going to cut a square out. Do I have a square here? I think I have a square here. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this off. I've got 2 squares there. Yeah, it's okay. And I think I'm just going to stitch around. So I'm just cutting that down. I'm going to run a stitch around it. I'm just going to put a little dot of glue in just to hold it in the center, just to hold it in place, because if it's not straight on the lines next to it, it's going to really bug me. So I'm just going to go run a stitch around that, and then we're just going to neaten these edges off, so I'll be back. Okay, so I've just run a stitch around just to secure it. Just going to trim the little tails off. And then I'm just going to decide how big I want this to be on the cover. So the cover is going to have a little bit of a curvy spine, and it's going to plonk on the front. So I want to just neaten these edges off. So I'm going to, if I cut along that line, I'm just going to fold these edges in a line. So I've got a nice neat edge that isn't going to fray. So I just want that to be the same the other side. So it's on a pink line. There's a cream and a pink, a cream and a pink and a cream, and there I've cut. That made sense to me in my head. I just, because it's stripes, it'll annoy me forever if it's not even. So I'm just going to use another little bit of glue just on this edge, just to fold it in and neaten it up. So I'm going to fold on that pink line. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, if I'm a bit far away actually. No, I think I might be right actually. So I've just folded that side. If I do the same here and fold to there, no, I need to fold one back. I need to fold that line, and that leaves me even. Okay, it makes sense to me. So all I'm doing basically, obviously, if you wanted to make one of these, you just make your cover as you want. You don't have to start messing about this. I just get carried away. This was meant to be like a quick, easy project. That alarm going off was to tell me to go and get something to eat. But no. Look at me now, doing this. So I'm just going to fold a piece at the bottom. Does seem to be soaking through a bit, this glue, so I'm hoping, with my small scissors, that it's not looking too bad on the front, because I'll have a sulk about it if it is. Oops. That looks alright so far. And then we'll just do the top. So again, I'm just going to fold what I hope is a relatively straight line. So even that looks a bit wonky actually. It's rustic, we'll call it rustic. Snip. Snip. And set that little triangle as well, because you're annoying. And fold. And hope I've put enough glue on that. As I said, I'm going to stitch as well, so it's not the end of the world. So let me just kind of... And then there was like a ruler's width, wasn't there, for the spine. So I think I'll do it quite central. I think I'll do it there. I think. Where's my ruler? So my spine was kind of like that, wasn't it? Without ripping the cover off. It was about that thickness. I should probably measure this inside actually, because I'm going to have to do it soon to know where to stitch my signatures. So what are you, 30? Two and a half. Okay, doesn't help me. I need to know the width of the ruler, but this is the ruler. Oh no. To that pink line you are 2.5. Ah, so 15. So if I do 15 in, and if I do 15 in, you see, you think that there's some magical, oh, would you look at that? Some magical sort of formula or way to do these journals and to put your signatures in. No, it's all guesswork. Complete guesswork. That worked out quite well actually. It's almost like I did it on purpose. Which I didn't do, to be fair. There we are, about there. So that's my front. It is covering up that huge flower that I wanted, but never mind. Such is life, it's going to go there. And again, just that to hold it in place. And then I'm going to run that through my sewing machine. The other thing at this point, if you were making this as well, is to consider is, do you want a closure? If you want a closure and you want to sew it in, obviously add your ribbon to the sides or whatever it is that you're going to add before you put your panel on, because that will just be better. Right, I'm going to go and sew this. I'll be back. Okay, so I stitched all the way around, and I'm doing what I should have done in the first place, which was iron it. So I'm just giving it all a quick press with my little Cricut iron, just to get out any of those creases that are bothering me. It doesn't hurt to give it all a little press as well, just to make it look a bit neater. Reinforce those edges. I would probably recommend doing this on an ironing board, but you know, that'd mean me getting the ironing board out. So that's better. So I've just given that a quick press. Oh, in fact, I am going to get my little ironing board out now for this next bit. I've just cut this piece of fabric, and it is the same height of my signatures. So I'm going to use this to sew the signatures in. I don't need it quite so big, I don't think. My signatures are this width. So if I just do a couple of them, let's say that, should be all right. Can't really see that, but that's should be all right for my signatures to go on. But I need to get rid of that little crease at the top. Oh look, I didn't get my ironing board out. Anyway, so that's that. That'll do. Near enough. Right, so that's for the signatures, which is going to be the next bit. I'm just unplugging this, that we can start work on. So the Cricut's gone over there, and then we can just start looking at what we're going to do with these. So this is one signature, and I mean, basically they're already double-sided. That needed trimming a little bit more, didn't it? Let's trim that. So I'm just going to use the ephemera that we've got printed out, and I'm just going to create some little pockets and such with them. I'm going to whiz through and glue them in, and then I'm going to run them through on the sewing machine. So that's going to be signature number 1. And then this will be signature number 2. So I think I'm going to split this into 2 videos because this is getting longer. This is longer than I anticipated. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and I'm going to film a second video sticking the ephemera in, doing the pockets, and sewing in the signatures, finishing it off. So yeah, thanks for listening so far. See you on the next one.